baby, oh, so small. Oh, baby, you're so small. We're looking at a video called Is Being Fat a Choice? It's a Jubilee video. I've talked about people of size in the past, and that's kind of something for some reason people associate with my channel with because all the TLC reactions. Those were my first big videos, my first heavy hitters. And yeah, I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw this guy and I was like, oh, this is interesting.
I was on Jubilee's most recent episode of The Middle Ground, Fit Men versus Fat Men. A lot of clips are starting to come out. You might have seen it on YouTube or any of the other social medias. I just want to say and address why I won't be sharing any clips from that.
I saw this and I was like, okay, it seems like something went awry on the Is Being Fat a Choice Jubilee Middle Ground video, to be honest. He doesn't want to talk about it basically because they had someone on board the show who was not exactly constructive with his feedback and criticism and opinions in regard to people of size. And I am going to get to the bottom of it.
Do you think just being in a fat body and being in the public space encourages obesity?
Yes.
Shame is what led me to an eating disorder.
Whose fault
When
is that,
what
though?
we're looking for is
Whose fault is that?
stability.
That's your fault.
It's
See, the
an
problem is that you're a
amalgamation.
professional victim. Would you agree, like, look?
It's Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit.
Again!
Don't laugh at my high-pitched cackle, you little bitch. And then you got fucking, all right, Greg Doucette and Myron Gaines.
Looking at his physique, like he's at a perfectly, I would say, maybe healthy.
No.
You think?
He's definitely overweight, definitely obese.
That guy's obese? Are you shitting me? See, that's this guy here.
Title. I remember.
I feel like this guy's just big. He's just a huge dude. He's like a normal, regular guy. Well, yes, all these people are morbidly obese. What are you talking about? Like the concept of BMI is just like human body can maybe I don't know anything about it, which I don't know anything about it, but to me it's always just been like, this is how much effort your body has to exert to be able to maintain this level of mass for your BMI, right? Like your heart. People all kind of have the same hearts. Can you stop licking the air? Thank you.
Nope.
You all got the same hearts. If you're a 260-pound bodybuilder, a lot of damage to your heart. That's why they all die when they're 55, 60 years old. It's probably from abuse of drugs, but also because there's a lot of weight on that heart. And good Lord, this guy is sexy as Jackman
My name
versus
is John.
Fitman.
I
Pretty
host
fun.
the Radical Empathy podcast. I used to.
Oh my God. My name is John. I'm a glitter world empath. Dude, John, you're not even real, bro. What is going on here? Why does this guy look fake? He looks like a f***ing android. My name is John. I have perfect posture. I'm a glitter world empath. I'm extremely empathic. I cannot imagine naming my podcast anything to do with empathy. I lack it.
Direct episodes of Middle Ground, but I'll now be moderating today's discussion between jacked men and fat men.
Jackman,
Our
it's
first
called
prompt
Middle
is-
Ground, by the way. So the assumption is that we're gonna find some people fucking agreeing with each other. This guy is on TikTok saying that nothing good came of the episode, so he won't talk about it publicly at all, and it's because this fucking goober was on there.
Again!
I have felt disgusted looking at a fat body. Can our agreeers please step forward? Whoever feels compelled to start us off.
Well, it's unacceptable to be fat.
Starting off strong, I guess.
That's a great start. I mean, I know why you say that, but it's one of those things where, do you know why you're saying that?
Yes, because I've been fat before and I lost the weight.
But he then goes on to explain later on that he was fat before because he wanted to experiment and he wanted to make himself fat, which I feel like kind of invalidates that point.
I've been fat my whole life. I've been way skinnier than I am now, and I've been way heavier than I am now. Was I less valuable at one point in there?
Well, I mean, you can make an argument that you're less valuable when you're fatter because you drain resources, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, I mean, in general, being fat is unacceptable because you...
So you kind of can get the vibe exactly where this is going, right, guys? It's red pill content. Jubilee has turned into this is a red pill content video. This guy, we're gonna set the stage by saying that he is not in this to help these people. He's not in this to make anyone healthier or lead anyone down a better life. He's in it to just bash fat people and get views. He's here as a purely inflamed, STI ridden. That's why he's there, to inflame. He's a penis.
You control every single morsel of food that goes into your mouth.
Okay.
It shows a lack of discipline, it shows a lack of character, it shows a lack of temperance, and when you're fat, it's an outward manifestation of your inadequacies.
I get what you're saying, I understand, but my eyes glaze over when you say it because it's just like, you're leaving out a lot of important context and you're treating humans as if they're ones and zeros and black and white and stuff. No, dude. I mean, I'm a very skinny little baby guy. I weigh barely 155 pounds and this is the heaviest I've ever been in my whole life. I've always been drastically underweight. No matter what I do, I can't gain weight. That's what it feels like. I know that's not true. I just have to eat more, and I have gained weight before, but it's just not worth it. I don't feel good whenever I do that. So you just invert that and then think about that in terms of weight loss. Sure, there is a way, there is a path there, but it's like, what is the rational thing to do? If you're not so obese that you're gonna die when you're 50, then there's balance to be had, I feel like. Same thing with I can empathize with it because I'm just a little skinny guy and it's fucking hard as shit to gain weight. And I feel like when people say, just eat more, it's like, okay, yeah, I know, I realize that, but like, also, there's a bit of complexity in there.
I don't think there's anyone that can look at somebody 500, 600, 700 pounds and not think, wow, what have they done? And not be discussed. Like, how can you not? I just can't understand.
You can't
nobody
assume that
thinking
everyone has the same opinion, though, because unfortunately, some people have emotional stuff that happened, traumatic stuff that's happened, so you can't discount and just say, oh, because they're fat.
Boo-hoo, man.
Boo-hoo, man.
Boo-hoo, man.
Me realizing I'm awesome and I make great, irrefutable points because I'm intellectually dishonest. And I have no intention of actually coming to any valuable conclusions.
There's way worse stuff going out in the world versus
Absolutely.
people saying, oh my God, I'm sad, I'm gonna eat some ice cream. It's like, no, dude, it's like, you're fat, you made that decision, you live in the best country ever. If you live in a civilized, first world country where you have electricity, internet power, etc., you deserve to be bullied. It's ridiculous to
You deserve to be bullied, bro. He's fucking coming out swinging. I totally get what he's saying, too. It's up. It's like, yeah, of course. You can use those things as tools, though. It's not about just being like, yeah, you should fucking kill yourself because you're fat. Don't you know there are skinny people in Africa? Come on, dude. Really? You can reframe your mind to use that as a tool to get yourself out of certain situations or lines of thinking, breaking the cycle of negative thought or whatever. There's nothing good that comes from this way of thinking, though. Genuinely, it's so obvious.
that we have all these fat people running around. It's ridiculous. We are so privileged here in the United States and in the West in general. When I see a fat person, I'm like, wow, you got the gift of life. You got the gift of being in a developed country, and you're a fat POS talking about.
I would say like maybe 50% more compassion and empathy, though. I would say that sort of mindset with 50% more compassion and empathy, I'd be interested to see what that looks like. It'd be a lot more reasonable. Just saying.
Because at the end of the day, if you don't lose weight, by definition, you're not in a calorie deficit. If you're not in a calorie deficit, then you're gonna either maintain or gain weight. And that's the problem, is that people don't track their calories.
And that's true, but
That's not true. That's also just not true, though. That's not true. Thermodynamics. I mean, yeah. There's a lot that goes into calories in, calories out, and body composition, like certain parts of the body. I mean, yeah, it's just gross oversimplifications, right? Like that's what it is. It's such a complicated thing. I understand the human body. Eat less calorie, lose weight. Eat less calorie, lose weight. What? That isn't how it works. What if some molecules are large and less dense and easy to metabolize, and others are dense and small and require energy to metabolize, but are 4, 5, 6, 7, like, what are you talking about? Also, macronutrients, the effectiveness of your endocrine system all ties into that. What are you fucking, it's so just not constructive.
People burn at their resting metabolic rate a different.
He's so disrespectful too. Like he's just, yeah, and?
Okay, so the reason I disagreed, especially when I heard the statement, I don't think I'll ever look at somebody based on their situation and think that I'm disgusted. Like, if I see somebody that's a drug addict on the street that's homeless, I'm not disgusted by that. If I see somebody that's incredibly overweight, I'm not disgusted by that. Do I think that there's an opportunity for growth? Do I think they've been put in a disadvantageous position that's probably makes it harder for them? Absolutely. I think I'm kind of an empath, so when I see somebody, I know.
Yeah, that's just called being a human being. You don't have to refer to yourself as an empath. You don't have to refer to yourself as an empath, just for clarity, for the sake of clarity. It makes me upset when people are like, I'm an empath. That's why I made fun of the guy in Glitter World Empath.
My name's John. I host Radical Empathy Podcast.
There's like 4% max of the population that lacks effective empathy, the type of empathy of being able to put yourself in other people's shoes. Those are psychopaths. You're not a psychopath. Chances are 96% chance you're an empath. Boom. There we go.
You can get fat and lose the weight if you know what you're doing and you have the knowledge and everything else like that. It's just about consistency over time. So it's like, I look at it like...
let me cut you off, because here's one thing that you just said.
Yeah.
You had the tools. So there's people that don't have the tools that you've passed judgment on.
That's also an excellent point.
You have failed to realize that with the tools, people are very much capable of achieving amazing things. But...
Okay, let's talk about said
no,
tools.
hold on, I'm not done.
Why? You cut me off
I'm
before,
not done.
remember?
I'm gonna address this, right?
Yeah.
You are passing judgment on people who lack the tools to do what it is that they need to do to get themselves to a certain point of health.
Okay.
There are people that, even if they work out, losing the weight does not come as simple as just going to the gym, cutting calories, watching everything that you eat. There are some people that have a disposition. I have a disposition. But does that mean that I'm not active? Does that mean that I'm not doing certain things? No, it doesn't.
In general, it does, for sure. Like in just, like, oh, if we're gonna overgeneralize, it absolutely does.
Now, on the flip side, what if I turned around and I did the same thing to you? You're talking about how fit and stuff that you are, but you're over there and you're small as compared to these other guys.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
So how does that feel if someone comes, no, because you said shame, right?
That's a little...
You said shame, right?
Yeah.
So how does that feel if someone comes up and they start shaming you for size? Like, come on.
Myron moment.
We gotta be careful about targeting each other too directly.
I mean, I'm not offended. It's fine. He's emotional.
It goes in every direction.
He's obviously very triggered.
I mean, dude, he literally just talked about bringing back bullying. And then he gets shamed. And then he's obviously very emotional and triggered. You are emotional and triggered for no reason. You just set up a couple fat people in front of you, bro fucking starts seething and just he just reiterates the same thought.
The tools are simply knowledge, which you can get for free on the internet. If you have the ability and the discipline to go out there and get the knowledge, then you're gonna lose weight.
You could also learn calculus from just the tools that are available for free. I'm not sure everybody has the wherewithal and the onus that's required to just learn things that appear as complicated, difficult things to learn that are out of reach, regardless of what it is, whether it could be something so incredibly simple, all right? Like losing weight, very human body, very simple, but not really. Calculus, same shit.
I think the question is, why do you hate fat people, that you feel the disgust towards it?
Well, like I said before, it's a culmination of a bunch of bad decisions.
Bro, these fucking boots and pants and that ugly ass $7 shirt are a combination of bad decisions. Like legitimately.
Fitness culture can be toxic.
I like this one because it for sure is. 100% is. Any culture where there's like a comparison
Here we all are again.
and like a level of judgment is just toxic, dude.
100%. I think there's
fitness culture, fucking any sports culture, being in like everything is toxic when there's competition.
I would say also that there's so much pressure to look like us, and it's causing people to develop body dysmorphia. And so this is a huge problem.
Yes, this is all true. They're all in agreement here. It seems like fitness culture can be incredibly toxic. Let's see what Myron has to say.
I think the issue comes from the misinformation and just the lack of keeping things simple. But, we like to have fad diets, go paleo, go vegan, go whatever it may be. And it's like, the reality is the best diet is the one that you can adhere to. And I think we need to let people understand that fitness is a lot more sustainable and easier than people think it is, which is why I make fun of fat people so much, because it really is simple and it comes down to numbers and tracking your calories and being disciplined and going to the gym. This is why I have no sympathy for fat people, because it really is simple.
If you just said all that without just saying all that other stuff, it really is that simple. You just have to align yourself with the proper mentality to see it as that, Fucking paper tigers, broken clocks, right twice a day type shit.
There is what keeps guys like us out of getting into fitness.
Shouldn't it do the opposite though?
No one wants to be told they're a piece of shit.
If I was being made fun of all...
Yeah, exactly. No, that's what it said. Nobody wants to be, there's cognitive biases, like you're not gonna be able to reason with these people. It doesn't make sense. You're all stupid. It doesn't make sense. Like, what is your goal? If your goal is to inflame people like an STI covered bug chasing, then you have succeeded.
I'm not going anywhere.
adding value and decreasing time and decreasing the amount of effort is going to give you guys so much more emphasis or ability to achieve the result and more motivation to achieve said result than being like, oh, you're fat, what the
Well, it's because the fitness industry overcomplicates it so that they can monetize it. So if
So
they
why-
tell
is
you,
that
oh,
their
I got
fault?
the secret sauce. Well, this is why it's important to acquire knowledge and be able to, whether you go ahead and do your own research. And again, it comes back to doing the work, and people get so mad, like, oh, what is this?
Seems like the more information you try to consume, the older the information is. Information gets older and older and older. The more it's propagated, the more it leads you towards compassion and love. Maybe that's just me, though.
You say to me, you little shit!
I would never, ever take advice from you. To get that advice or to gain that knowledge because of whatever this disposition it is that you have going on, right?
What's the disposition?
Can you describe it?
I think I just keep it real.
I wouldn't even.
Guys, I just keep it real, dude. I just keep it real. I'm not high on myself. I don't wish that I could suck my own dick and balls. I just keep it real.
Again!